Successfully, we have completed creating pizza slice. Now let's see how to configure store in Redux Toolkit. And if you remember, I have already mentioned Redux Toolkit is 100% compatible with regular Redux, which means we can upgrade the Redux store in very gradual way. So here we have exported reducer and we have done default export, and also we have exported action, and here we have done named export. Now we are going to configure store. I have created store.js. I'm just going to open this file. And if you remember, in Redux we use this create store method, and if you see here, this create store is already deprecated, and here they are suggesting us to use configure method from Redux Toolkit package. Now what we will do, instead of using this create store, we are going to use configure store method, which is available inside Redux Toolkit package. So here I will write const, then I will be writing configure store is equal to, first I'm just going to import this Redux Toolkit package, and from this package I'm just going to access this configure store. Okay, instead of using create store, I'm just going to use this configure store, and this function basically wraps around create store and it will be adding new functionalities to it. Basically, this configure store method will be doing lot of things by itself. First, automatically it will be combining all the reducers. Second, automatically it will be adding thunk middleware. And third, automatically it is going to set up developer tool. So once I have access to this configure store, below this I'm just going to invoke this configure store. And then whatever value it is returned, we are just going to assign to a variable called store. Same thing we have used in Redux. Instead of configure store, we used create store, and that value we assigned inside this store. And our create store was accepting reducer, but inside this configure store, we are going to pass object as its argument. And inside this, first thing we are going to specify is our reducer. And this is where we are going to specify all the reducers from the slices that belong to specific features. So here, first I'm just going to pass the reducer, and inside this I will be passing this as an object. Okay, this is nothing but key reducer. Inside that I'm just passing object, and this is where we are going to specify multiple reducers. First feature, I'm having pizza, and for that I'm just going to give the reducer name as pizza reducer. So here I'm just using reducer. Once I'm using reducer, I just have to import reducer. Here I'm just going to give pizza reducer. You can give any name. Whatever name you give, same name you have to give. Why I am giving pizza reducer? Because I have done default export of my reducer. So that is the reason I am giving the name as pizza reducer. If you want, you can give any name. Accordingly, you have to change the name here. So first, I will be writing required. And inside this, now I have to specify the file path. So I will write dot dot slash. I will come inside these features. Then I will come inside this pizza folder. Inside that, I am having pizza slice. So here, inside one file, we can only have one default export. So now it will consider reducer as its default export, and in place of this, it is just going to access reducer, and that reducer will be given to this key. Okay, this is how we are going to pass reducer inside configure store. So this configure store will be taking object as its argument. Inside that, first we are going to specify our reducers. And inside this, we can give multiple reducers. Basically, we are combining multiple reducers of different feature. Now second, we are going to implement burger. Similarly, directly I can write burger and then I will be writing burger reducer. But in Redux, what we did, if we are having multiple reducer, we were using the method combine reducer to combine all the reducers. But inside this configure store, by using this syntax, we can simply combine the reducer without the need of extra method. So as of now, I am only having pizza slice. So that is the reason I am passing pizza reducer for this pizza key. Now this store I have to use in other files. So below this, I'm just going to do default export of this store. So here I will be writing module dot exports is equal to directly I will be writing store. Why? Because I have given here store. So that is the reason I am passing the variable store. But inside this pizza slice, I am giving dot reducer and dot actions because this pizza slice was giving all these options. So that is the reason we have exported this reducers and actions in this way. But while exporting the store, you have to export in this way. Now, if you see here, this simplification of setting up the store is already a huge win. You don't have to write lot of code. Only by using this, we have set up our store. Now next, I will come inside index.js where we are going to display initial state and updated state. I will come inside index.js. First thing, I just have to import my store. Here I will write const store is equal to, I will write this required. Now I will come inside this apps folder. Inside that I am having store. Whenever you are importing local modules, then you have to specify this dot slash. But if you are just importing the packages, you don't have to specify the dot slash. Directly, you have to give package name. Now successfully, I have imported store. Below this, I will write log. Inside this, I'm just going to give initial state. And how we can access initial state? Inside this store, we are having this get state method. Okay, same thing. Whatever we have done inside the Redux, entire thing will be same. But instead of using additional methods, we are simply going to use configure store and we are just going to access initial state. Now here, I will do Control J. Now this index.js is available inside Redux Toolkit. First, I will clear terminal. I will come outside of this. Then again, I will come outside. Now I am inside this Redux Toolkit folder. I will write node index. Hit enter. Now you can see successfully I am able to access initial state where I am having the key as pizza which I have specified here. And then finally my initial state, whatever we have specified inside this pizza base, I am able to access that initial state. Okay, rest entire thing will be same. Only thing, instead of using create store and combining multiple reducer, I am going to use configure store which will be doing lot of things automatically for us. Now I'm just going to come inside index.js. Now what I will do, I'm just going to subscribe to my store for any changes. Here I will be writing store.subscribe. This is nothing but it is a function. And inside this, I'm just going to write log. Here I will write updated state. Again, from this store, I will just access this get state. Save it. Again, if I run this, nothing changes. I am only able to display initial state. Why? Because if we want to update something inside the store, we have to dispatch the actions. And before that, whatever value is returned, I'm just going to store inside this unsubscribe variable. Because once the changes are done inside the store, we have to unsubscribe from the store. Once it is done, below this, I'm just going to unsubscribe. In between, what I have to do, I have to dispatch actions. So from this store, I will access this dispatch function. Inside this, I have to define action. So here, inside this pizza slice, I have already exported this pizza action. So first thing, I'm just going to import this pizza action. Here I will write const. Then I'm just going to give pizza action. You have to give the same name because I have mentioned the name here is equal to. Then I will be giving required. Inside this, I'm just going to specify the file path. I will come inside this features. Then I will come inside pizza. Then I'm just going to specify pizza slice. And then from this file, I just have to access this pizza action. Let me just open terminal. Inside this, if you see, we are having action, and then inside that we are having pizza order, and that is nothing but our action creator. So while dispatching, here we have to specify our action, and action we have already imported. I will copy this, and here I'm just going to paste. And inside this action, okay, this is what we have imported. Inside this action, we are having pizza order. So this is nothing but object. Now I have to access this pizza order. Here I will write dot, and then I'm just going to write pizza order. Okay, simple enough. Inside this pizza slice, as soon as the action is dispatched, I'm just reducing the pizza base by 1. Directly, I'm mutating the state because behind the scene, Redux Toolkit will be using immer library. So that is the reason. First, I have not copied the state. Instead, directly, I'm just mutating the state. So now, once it is done, I will open terminal, run this. You can see successfully, I'm able to access initial state. As soon as the action is dispatched, this got executed and I am able to reduce pizza base by 1, and here I am having 999 pizza base. So if you see here inside this Redux toolkit, separately we are not defining any reducer. Inside that we are not passing multiple switch statement. We are not defining action creators, action type. Simply inside this create slice, for each and every slice we are passing these 3 properties, and then inside this store.js we are just configuring the store in which we can pass multiple reducer. Here we do not have to use combined reducer. Instead, using this configure store, everything will be happening automatically. Then finally, inside this index.js, we are just getting access to get state and updated state by using this get state. And also, we have subscribed to the store. Once we dispatch the action successfully, we are able to decrease the pizza base by 1. But later, when we see Redux Toolkit with React, this importing and exporting will be different. Rest entire thing will be same.